In this video, we are going to learn the cure for verbal viruses. When it comes to leading meetings, delivering presentations, video and podcast recordings, or even spontaneous conversation, your credibility and communication will have more polish if it is free from verbal viruses. Damaging verbal viruses are words and sounds used in speech such as so, like, stuff, or noises that come from lip smacking, tongue clicking, or throat clearing that become habit. When these types of filler words or noises are used excessively, they become verbal viruses since they break down the quality of your message by not sounding as smart or commanding as you can be. Verbal viruses are not observed in broadcasters or other types of media. Where do verbal viruses come from? Causes of verbal viruses are nervous behavior, talking too fast, lack of preparation, or it became habit without realizing it. Verbal viruses become injected as the speaker is coordinating his or her thoughts. After a while, it becomes a part of the speech. Regardless of the cause, verbal viruses can be eliminated or significantly reduced. Verbal viruses become distracting and clutter a message when they are consistently used at the beginning of a statement. For example, so I called this meeting, or if you take a look at this chart, as opposed to saying those lines clean without the virus. For example, take a look at this chart. Boom. Do you see how clean that was? If you use filler words occasionally to connect the thought, that's okay. The bigger problem is when it becomes habit. Let's find a cure for verbal viruses. Before a verbal virus can be reduced, you must first increase your awareness of how much you say them. Before we get into strategies, I would like for you to identify your filler words and write them down in your materials. Now, let's get into strategies. This is my favorite one. Keep a tally on a Post-it note or scratch paper. Put the date and plan to keep them for a few weeks. Whenever you say a verbal virus during your business day or on a call, give yourself a tick mark. You may be surprised by the end of the day how many tally marks you have. Tracking them over a few weeks will increase your awareness and help shape them out. You will see over time that you have fewer tick marks in your notes. Another strategy is to find trusted support. Have an office mate or friend track how many times you use them in a meeting. You may be surprised by the number. Another favorite is use your thought bubble. If you are in agony to say your verbal virus, say it in your thought bubble and then move on with your statement. Over time, that strategy will help to shape them out. Use a planned carrier phrase. Verbal viruses tend to appear between new thoughts. Often someone might say before launching a new idea. Having planned carrier phrases can help with this. A carrier phrase is a planned phrase that can be used as a bridge to transition you to your next idea. Now vary the carrier phrases or you'll have a new verbal virus. Here are a few examples. Actually, then say your line. As a matter of fact, then make your statement. In addition to, you have more examples in your materials. Sometimes a verbal virus can be an immediate response to a question. Someone will ask a question and the speaker will start right off with a so, then answer. To avoid this, think of carrier phrases in advance. Here are some examples. That is a timely, thoughtful, or good question. Or, I like where you're going with this thought. Or, to be sure I understand, your question is. You have more examples in your materials. The final strategy is internal pausing. When you feel the urge to say a filler word, have a pause. It is perfectly acceptable to have a natural pause between words. It's actually a good leadership skill and shows self-control. Often speakers, especially when nervous, feel that there can never be a pause because it feels like a huge delay. It may feel that way to you, but short pauses are good. Skilled speakers use natural pausing regularly. Pausing helps people to process information comfortably. Using internal pausing is an effective strategy for organizing thoughts while minimizing the likelihood of using a verbal virus. Speaking along the speech stairs will help you to coordinate natural pauses and thought organization for improved fluency. Adding an intentional pause on the speech stairs will position you to always sound fluent, controlled, and interesting. By increasing your awareness of the habit of using verbal viruses and applying some of these strategies, you will shape them out of your speech. As a result, your speech will be more fluid, smooth, sound smarter, and you will look confident while you are delivering your important message. See you in the next video.